Now let's welcome in Democratic analyst Jonathan Harris. Jonathan, thanks so much for being here. I want to get right to
Sure
it.
thing.
President Biden has agreed to 2 debates against former President Trump, but only with a bunch of rules in place, including no studio audience and microphones that'll be cut off when allowed time is up. He also refused to allow RFK Jr. to join them. What's he so afraid of?
I don't think there's any fear. I mean, President Biden comfortably defeated Donald Trump in the last 2 debates that they had. The only person who's ever backed out of debates between the two of them is Donald Trump. He backed out of their second debate and until they made certain concessions to him, and he refused to debate any of the Republicans. President Biden is a seasoned politician. He defeated him in both debates and then defeated him in the election by 8 million votes. I don't think President Biden is scared of anything. I think the rules are about the chaotic behavior that Donald Trump engaged in, not just with Hillary Clinton, but also with Biden. He doesn't know how to conduct himself like a statesman and like an adult. And so unfortunately, you have to put these rules in place that hadn't been put in place before because they weren't necessary.
Well, you actually obviously believe that Biden will defeat President Trump in this upcoming debate. He has proven that he can read a teleprompter, but can he think on his feet and prove to the American public that he's not losing his faculties? Now, I don't want to pick on a guy who seems to be fading fast, but let's not pretend that we all can't see what's happening to him. He often looks
Are you
lost
talking
at
about
White House
Trump?
events. He can't. I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about. The President of the United States can't even hide his carefully crafted cue cards handed to him by his aide. He stumbles upstairs and across stages. He tries to shake hands with ghosts. He gets that faraway look in his eyes and fails to finish sentences. These are things that we can all see when he's in front of the cameras. I can't imagine how much worse it is off camera. I'm just really curious how you can defend someone who is clearly fading fast.
Well, Biden isn't fading fast, and I think it was just a few days ago that Donald Trump was talking about the late Hannibal Lecter and how, I mean, there's a difference between somebody having a speech impediment and Donald Trump, who rambles, slurs his speech, confuses Obama with Biden, thinks that Nancy Pelosi he's running against her, or that, I mean, there's a difference between Biden, who has a speech impediment and stutters, and Trump, who has a clear cognitive issue. He's falling asleep in court.
Oh,
I
really?
mean, I
Wait,
don't
hold
think that
on,
these are
hold
things
on.
that I don't
Now
think
it's
we
a
want to
speech
compare these two
impediment.
men.
Come,
Well, it's been a
well,
speech
we are
impediment.
comparing them.
Well,
We are
if
comparing
we
them,
are,
and you know why? We're talking about who's going to hold the most demanding job in the world for four
right.
years.
And
This
Biden has done
president
it
does not
without
appear
crashing the
physically
economy.
capable of performing his duties. Come
Well, the
on,
difference between
you can
Biden and
see it.
Trump is Biden has done the job while not crashing the economy, not letting a disease get out of control,
Oh,
not
really?
suggesting that we
Not
inject
crashing the
bleach
economy.
into. No, the
Have
last
you filled
recession
your
we
gas
had,
tank lately?
the
Have you
last
bought
recession that we
groceries
had.
lately?
Let's just stick to the facts. The last recession that the United States
Okay.
had was in March of 2020, and it was not because of COVID. That would be unacceptable also, but it was because Trump started a trade war with China, and then he lost, and he started messing up the economy in the tail end of 2019, and it led to a recession in March of 2020. The facts matter. And meanwhile, President Biden has added 15 million jobs to the economy, recovering every job that Trump lost. So if Biden is so
Yeah.
inept, you got to tell me why he's performing better than Trump, because Biden hasn't crashed the economy, but Trump has. Those are just the facts.
Oh, really? Okay. Well,
Those are just the
how's the
facts.
border doing? How's the border
Well,
doing?
we had a surge. We had a surge in illegal immigration under Trump. Yeah, I'm sure you recall that. That was also in 2019. We had a surge in
Yeah.
illegal border
And the
crossings under
Democrats
Trump.
got in the way every chance they got to not
No,
let the wall get built. And
Trump
now
lied to
President
his
Biden says he's
supporters
going to
and
let
failed.
4,000 illegals come in every single day. 4,000 a
Biden,
day. That's okay with our president.
Trump
How is that
lied to his
okay?
supporters. Trump lied to his supporters because they
Okay.
will believe anything, and he insults them to their faces and they cheer. But he told them he was going to build a wall. He did nothing. He decided that it was an acceptable policy to deal with the spike in illegal immigration, to separate children from their families. That was his deterrent. to illegal immigration, disgusting, morally repugnant behavior, and he still had a spike in illegal immigration. President Biden just said he would sign into law a bill that gave conservatives everything they wanted, funding for more border fencing and walls and security, et cetera, et cetera. And Trump told them not to sign it. Trump told them not to vote for it to get to President Biden's desk. If you have any problem with the current
Well,
illegal immigration, you got to lay that squarely at the feet of Donald Trump.
okay,
Those are the
it's all
facts.
Donald Trump's fault. Of course it is.
Those are
Jonathan,
the
you're very
facts.
good at your job. You're very good at your job. We will agree to disagree, but at the end of the day, we are all Americans, and we only want the best for the country. And sometimes we disagree on
Indeed.
how to make it work. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds. How do we forge a path forward together?
Well, look, I mean, one of my biggest concerns, I have to be honest, was that Donald Trump was going to look at the rise in protests, the Black Lives Matter protests, and the social uprising in the country, the economy crashing, and the COVID pandemic that he let get out of control by ignoring medical professionals, et cetera. Look at that and rise to the occasion. I was worried because I thought if he does that, everyone's going to forget all the other things that he did if he rises to the occasion and becomes a statesman. He didn't. So I don't know that we can move forward with Trump. I really don't. I think that we're going to have Biden, who has
No.
shown a career
Get
of
ready.
caring about the country.
Get, get ready, Jonathan Harris. And thank you so much for joining me
Sure thing.
on the Leventhal Report.